respected Naga leaders, church clergy, officials of the apex Naga civil organizations, and my dear people of God. Today, we have been drawn together from across the land of the Nagas because of a history. In this case, it is uniquely a particular history that was conscientiously determined to safeguard the historical and the political rights of the Nagas. With much hard work and difficult logistical circumstances, the Naga Plebiscite was conducted by the Naga National Council under the imaginative leadership of Dr. A.Z. Fizo on May 16, 1951, with a great sense of purpose. Today, we are a small piece, should I say, the smallest piece of the jigsaw puzzle. But we are here to celebrate this significant day. We are here in humble spirit to say we would like to join in the great historic event. The story of the plebiscite holds an abiding significance in Naga history. The very rationale for us being here today is this abiding significance. Today, it is producing a spark of real hope. The unhappiness, anger, and despair that we hear today from young and old are a result of the loss of belief that the Naga future is possible. In order to grasp this hope, we are called to an orientation of the possibility of a future with a renewed spirit and heart. A spirit and heart that will transcend the immediate circumstances created by individuals and groups. We must honestly confront the present state within the Naga family that has conditioned us to define ourselves in opposition to others. There is no different Naga. There is no bigger Naga or smaller Naga. The historical and the political rights of the Nagas have been weakened by the process of othering others. And we are weakening our process again by othering each other. Yet, although Nagas have seemingly been weakened, we are not destroyed. Am I right? Yes or no? Yet, although Nagas have seemingly been somewhat weakened, I'm here to say Nagas are not destroyed. Okay? Nagas are not destroyed. We are alive. Despite the little disruption in our historical and political bonds, maybe in the recent past, that the very disruption has thrust the Naga people into a more organic way of relating. Well, some of you will say, is that really true? I say this because it is factual and observed in our meetings since February of this year. Since February 16 to 18, we met together, all the Naga political groups. The public may not know. After that, we have met 4 times. And in all this, every political individual or every political group came to an understanding that despite the disruption, today Naga people are more organic. We are more organic by knowing how to relate with one another. And I'm saying this because of what I have observed. This is an empirical statement that I'm making. Therefore, convergence as opposed to divergence, convergence as an universal law of nature is a coming for the Nagas. The socio-political disruption within the Naga family has ironically created a humanity of hurts and oppressed that is providing the most essential necessity of forming solidarity with each other. In our coming together to face dangers and move towards constructively towards what I've been saying all along, constructive nationalism. Now, we are finding, I'm glad to report to the Naga public that we are finding that the Nagas are learning to understand each other on the issue of essentials. The reason all these political leaders are here, it is because of that they are drawn here. The essentials. What are the essentials? Plebiscite is one of them. It is not the only one, but plebiscite is one among the many essentials. And in that essentials, all converge. I think it would be good if the public can also give a round of applause for that, this response that comes from our political leaders. We are learning to recognize each other's space and form. By imagining that the other doesn't exist is not going to solve the problem. Among the many, we are come to realize and we recognize and we have given space. It has also been declared by the Naga political groups that cooperation in the collective essentials will be honored as a stand for Naga rights. Cooperation. Please take this message home to our Naga people. We recognize our differences. That's a form of unity. By recognizing our differences, we have agreed that we need to cooperate with one another. And this has begun. Cooperation in the collective essentials. And this is honored, and this is where we stand. Now, a word to the general public. Nagas are generally altruistic, positive people. When it comes to each other's needs, we are selfless. This inborn cultural quality remains our strength. Today, we must accept the challenge that Nagas, especially younger generation, must show our altruism by starting a collective movement to stop destroying our most cherished belonging. We all want the same thing, but we are destroying it. That's the irony. We all love our rights, but we are destroying it. So a movement must begin from young people. And this movement must be a collective movement from the north, south, east, west, and so that we can stop destroying our most cherished belonging. Older generations have often underestimated the young Naga generation. Please forgive us for that. Today, the young generation stands tall in terms of possessing a sophisticated understanding of the contemporary world. There is a great Naga potential that needs to be organized around the primordial spirit of belonging. The Naga people share more common interests than points of conflicts among us. The seed is already planted and needs persistent plant nurturing. A generation that does not offer its members the ability to work towards the common good is not a worthy generation. In our context, we have shamefully incited violence against each other. We have hesitated to grow our identity and history within the larger Naga identity and history. We have fallen prey to the temptation of alienating ourselves from the larger Naga family. Friends, belonging to the Naga family demands sacrifices. We must believe it. It is worth it because sacrifice can bring what all Nagas want today. It is through sacrifice that the seeds of real freedom, peace, and justice will come to fruition. I have hope that we can win. I really do. I really do, that we can win. We must win. The possibility of winning it is at our disposal. You see, hope is a priceless treasure that cannot be taken away by any power on earth. Hope situates itself in our context when we are heavy laden under the weight of dispute. Hope situates itself in our context when we feel the burning anger of being misunderstood. Hope situates itself in our context when we think we have run out of faith. In accepting the invitation of hope, one is acting that the foundation for hope lies in our present turmoil. For St. Paul, hope begins when we open ourselves to God. Romans 15. It begins when we open ourselves to the divine. This act of opening ourselves to God in turn leads to a sense of divine security and liberty. Therefore, we can say that God of hope is the God of freedom. In Him, there is no big or small Naga. I repeat, in Him there is no small or big Naga. God breaks through the walls that have been created to separate us from others. God breaks down the walls of individualism. God leaps over the boundary of pride and hate. God overcomes the difference between north and south, and east and west. Therefore, we can hope for Naga people. To hope for us is to, at the same time, hope for our neighbors. Let us not forget as Naga people, to hope for ourselves. Let us not forget to hope for our neighbors. To hope at the expense of others is to limit oneself. We have made many mistakes along this line. When we have hope for us, we have undermined others, particularly who are our neighbors. This law of life, law of nature cannot be forgotten by us. We cannot live and hope at the expense of others, and to do so, we are limiting ourselves. Let us hope that this dangerous memory, this day, we must debunk the dangerous memory of anger, hate, and revenge, and leave this behind and be reconciled. We must hope, and this can be done through cooperation. We will soon, I believe, Nagas will soon cross the hillocks of division. We hope because people have the power, and soon Nagas shall sing the song of peace, freedom, and mutual respect. God makes us hope because He has patience with the Naga people. I will close with the words of a German writer, one of my favorite writers, Jürgen Moltmann. And I quote this: "His hope, born out of the dust, cannot perish in the dust of our everyday. Born out of the resurrection, it cannot therefore be exhausted in the course of our lives. Born out of death, it breaks up therefore the iron of anxiety and of uselessness." Thank you. God bless. Kuknalin.